Grand Risings, today is Wisdom Wednesday, May 11th, and this is your Shekinah Wisdom Podcast. Today, my lovelies, today is Wisdom Wednesday, and this is the day that we ponder on the life lessons that we have been given, and it's a call to action day. What are you being called to action to do? To improve your current lot? How do you do that? By paying attention to the signs and symbols in your environment. In your environment, there are always signs and symbols that alert you to whether there's danger ahead or whether there's anything ahead. But when we ignore those signs and symbols, we tend to get upset and angry at ourselves, the universe, God, source, and because of how we are looking at things. A lot of times we take a narcissistic approach to life, looking at everything as in how is it personally affecting you? And you're not looking at the whole picture. Yes, it's about how things affect you, but it's also how do you affect the world? The things that you put out, you do get back. I don't care what anybody tells you. That is natural law. It's part of the universal laws. What you put out, you will get back. So if you don't like what you are getting back, you need to what? Change your output. Where space are you giving from? Are you giving from a space of fulfillment? Are you giving from a space of codependency? Sometimes we form relationships that are codependent because we are fearful. We are fearful ourselves of walking it alone. Codependent relationships always teach you that there are some things that you can do alone. When you look at the effects of codependent relationships on your life, the end result is usually, I could do bad by myself. Right? That statement right there. If any of the relationships you interact with has you feeling that way, then that means that you are not in the optimal relationship. You're there for a reason, of course, because if you wasn't, you wouldn't be there. But a lot of times that reason for you being there is to level up and build on your self-worth and self-esteem. It's for you to figure out who you are, where you are, and where you're headed. And once we have that information, you become empowered. And once you are empowered, you can help empower others. If you only evolve you in yours, the world you inherit would be of all of the things that you ignored. Right? You can't think, I'm just going to look out for my kids and everything with my children is going to be all right. Make sure they have the best education, yada, yada, yada. But the people around you do not have that same education. And they're not getting poured into the same way. What type of world do you think your child is going to grow up in? You cannot just make sure that you are okay. No man is an island. We all come together. Because you send your child out and nurture your child and pour into your child, right? And say if your neighbor does not have the means to do the same. And that child ends up doing unsavory acts. And then those unsavory acts fall on your child. Do you see how this works? The unsavory acts could be simply influence. And then they can influence your child to do something that your child does not want to do. Or is not the best outcome for your child. So that's why we really have to think about how we're moving. You cannot move in a self-centered way. The one thing about this healing work that we do over here is serious, right? when you come and you make an appointment, as you know, some of you have already had appointments, but for those of you that have not had an appointment, you understand the seriousness of the work that we do here. You know that it's not money. It's not about the money. It's about the results, right? It's about you showing up willing and able to do the healing work required. You know, that's why there's always a screening process these days. And with that screening process, we determine whether we're a good fit or not. Because our job here is to help you grow. We don't want anybody to be wounded from the experience. We want them to grow from the experience. So that's the importance of the intake work, you know. And once that intake is done and everything checks out and you're aligned with the counselor that best fits your needs, we can move on to other things. But you have to be willing to do the work. You know, and I know and understand that hurt people. And it's part of the job. You know, sometimes I have to deal with certain type of energies, right, that are not healed. But we work through it in a way where we all grow from the experience, right? So if you're interested, head over to ShekinahWisdom.com where you can book an appointment. If you want art therapy, head over to IAMTheletterUcollection.com. And if you simply want to support the work that we do here, you can cash out Unearthing the Truth. All right, my lovelies, you have a wonderful, amazing Wisdom Wednesday.